Well, Israel is rejoicing at the release of 3 more of its civilians this morning. And while the exchange with Hamas seems to be going well, with 21 of 33 hostages in the first phase of the ceasefire already being released, over 70 Israeli hostages still remain in captive by Hamas. One of these hostages was Omri Miran, who was kidnapped from his home in the kibbutz Nahal Oz on October 7th, with no word on when he will be released.
For more on this, let's welcome in Omri's brother-in-law, Moshe Lavi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, it's been over 16 months since the horrendous and horrible attack on October 7th. I can't imagine the mental anguish and pain that's going through you and your family. But can you express what you've been going through over these past months?
Yes, thank you for having me. It's been excruciating 16 months. I can't describe it otherwise. We've been trying to advocate for the release of Omri and all the remaining hostages, while at the same time coping with the effects of what happened to our family on October 7th. But we have to keep being focused, and our sole focus, especially after today's devastating footage from the Gaza Strip, as hostages who were starved and tortured were paraded by Hamas and their accomplices in Gaza before they were released. It makes us worried and makes us understand we have to keep in mind that all the hostages are a humanitarian case and must be released as soon as possible.
Moshe, how are you and your family holding up? And is there any idea, does anyone have any idea when he may be released?
Sadly, Omri is not included in the first phase of the hostage deal. And I say hostage deal because sadly, a lot of other media outlets try to use it as a ceasefire or a peace deal. This is not a peace deal. We try to get our hostages back home. And after that, we can discuss the post-war situation in our region. We don't know when Omri will be released, but we urge policymakers, whether in the US, the amazing Trump administration, and of course our own government, to understand that we can't wait for phase 2. We have to make sure that all the hostages who are still alive, including Omri, return home to their loved ones. Lishai, my sister, my nieces Ronnie and Alma are waiting to hug Omri, and we can't wait even a day more for his return.
Well, we're all hoping and praying that Omri will be released very soon and he's in good health. And, you know, they say when you think of things, you project things in the future, you visualize it, and sometimes that will come true. In your mind, have you been visualizing your first meeting with him when you were reunited, and what will you tell him?
Yeah, we're visualizing it every day. What I want to see is not me speaking to him, is my sister Ronnie and Alma running to him, hugging him, kissing him, to see his father, who has been advocating relentlessly. He's 80 years old, and yet been traveling around the world, been advocating in Israel. Want to see him shaving his beard. He's been growing his beard since Omri was taken hostage. Want to see him shaving it and then hugging Omri. That's what matters. I want to see these scenes, and I believe, like you said, I believe that if we'll keep the faith, we will see Omri home, hugging all his loved ones, and then I'll grab a beer with him, and hopefully we'll start rehabilitation as a family.
Well, keep the faith for sure. Before we let you go, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers and people who are listening to your words about what's going on?
The main thing I want to say is thank you for the millions of Americans and others who have been supporting us as families of hostages over the past 16 months, whether on the streets, on social media, whether in the corridors of power. I was in Washington, D.C. this week, and I was in the National Prayer Breakfast as a guest of the White House, and I heard again how President Trump reiterates that he wants to see all the hostages home, he wants to free them all. And that we need the public to continue pushing the elected officials to do that, to make sure that Omri returns home with all remaining hostages.
Yes.
Moshe Lavi, thank you so much for your time this morning. We're all hoping and praying for that day when we visualize all of that.
Thank you.